Beta Caro. Today I have a really delicious treat for you, perfect for those summer days when you're ready to fire up the barbecue. Today's dish is going to be grilled salmon with a side of baked sweet potato fries. That's right, baked sweet potato fries. So that means no greasiness from frying, and the salmon is going to pack all the protein and heart-healthy fats. That's going to really make this dish a nutritional masterpiece. Let's go ahead and get started with the ingredients for the sweet potato fries first. The ingredients for the baked sweet potatoes are very simple. All you need is 1 or 2 sweet potatoes, some Tuscan olive oil, some thyme, some cumin powder, and some salt and pepper. The first step is to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. After doing so, you can take the sweet potato and the peeler and peel the sweet potato. Then just cut it in half and cut it into strips lengthwise. I went ahead and put all of these strips of sweet potato onto the baking sheet. Now I'm going to take the thyme and just combine it with the cumin. And I'd probably put about a half a teaspoon of each. And I'm just going to blend those together and actually just put those into the olive oil. And that's going to basically just make the olive oil thicker. And it's going to be easier for all of those ingredients to stay onto the sweet potato once I brush them on. And now I'm just going to go ahead and brush those onto the sweet potatoes. I'm only going to brush one side of the sweet potato. By doing so, I'm using less oil. That way, when I put the strips into the oven, they're not going to be saturated with oil and get soggy. They're going to stay extra crispy, which is exactly how I like my baked sweet potato fries. The sweet potatoes are all set. I'm just going to go ahead and just crack just a little bit of pepper onto them. And not too much, but just a dash of salt, just give them some extra flavor. And now I can just go ahead and throw them in the oven for about 30 minutes so they get nice and crispy. Now it's time to get started on the salmon. Let's check out those ingredients. The ingredients for the salmon are very simple. I have just over 1 pound of salmon, some extra virgin olive oil, some white balsamic vinegar, salt, pepper, and a little bit of paprika for coloring. The grill is all fired up, and now I'm getting started on the marinade. The base of the marinade is going to be just Tuscan olive oil. Today I'm using Porciano Tuscan olive oil. And I'm going to put just about a little bit more than a 1/4 cup of olive oil into a bowl. And because salmon tends to be an oily fish, I'm going to put a little bit of white balsamic vinegar. This is going to help reduce the oily texture that salmon produces. So I'm just going to put a couple splashes of that in there. And finally, just a little bit of ground pepper. And just a pinch of salt. And I'm just going to whisk all these ingredients together. Once that's all blended together, I'm going to take the salmon, and this is a very nice piece of salmon which I've already gone ahead and washed and patted dry, and I'm just going to just soak that in there just to make sure that all of the oil and all of those spices are on there. Perfect. And the best part about this marinade is that it doesn't even need to stay on the fish long. You know, this is all it's staying on. It's not getting marinated for half an hour or anything like that. We're just having it get a little soak, and I'm putting it back onto the dish, just like that. Now I'm just going to simply add a little bit of paprika, just to give the fish a little bit of color before we put it onto the grill. The grill's all fired up, and what I did was just take a piece of aluminum foil and I'm going to place it onto the grill. And this is so that the fish doesn't stick to the grates. And I'm going to take the actual piece of salmon and just place it right over the aluminum foil, just like that. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to let that cook for about 20 to 25 minutes until the edges get nice and crispy. Now let's go ahead and check out the sweet potato fries that are baking in the oven. The sweet potato fries just came out of the oven and they look great. Nice and crispy on the edges. This is going to add a lot of crunch. We're going to let them sit for about 10 to 15 minutes until the salmon is ready before we give them a try. They're way too hot right now. But the cumin and the thyme, I smell them. Smells unbelievable. I can't wait to give these a try. About 20 minutes has passed and I think our salmon's all ready. Let's check it out. Look at that color. The edges are all nice and crispy, and that paprika really adds beautiful color to the salmon. It's well cooked through, and it's ready to come off of the grill. And this is really looking delicious. I can't wait to give it a try. I scooped up some salmon and some of the baked sweet potato fries into the serving dish, and now it's time for my favorite part. Let me give them a try. I'll first start with the sweet potato fries. These are excellent. I didn't put too much oil, so they're not soggy, and they're actually really crispy. The cumin and the thyme adds a really savory flavor to them. This is a really great side dish for kids. If you don't want to give them unhealthy, fried French fries, sweet potato fries that are baked are such a great alternative. Very flavorful. And now, let's see how our salmon turned out. Like I mentioned before, the color of the salmon looks absolutely delicious. When I cut inside of it, it's well cooked through and it's not burned. It looks very moist. Ready? Now that is what I'm talking about. That's some good fish right there. This salmon is packed with flavor. And I didn't even put that many ingredients. You can really taste the fish, and that's what I like about it. Simple ingredients, but the results are outstanding. This is a really delicious dish. I'm very proud of it, and I know you're going to enjoy it too. Let me know how it works out for you. You can email me at runningthekitchen@gmail.com. Thanks so much for joining me on Running the Kitchen. I'm Johnny Vaccaro. Take care.